G'day everybody. It has been a hot minute since I did a writing update here on the YouTube channel, and I figured it was high time that we had a chat and went through what's going on. Last one was in April 2022, and it was my intention to do this every month, but things just kind of got away from me. So I've got a couple of like dot points and stuff that I'd like to kind of touch on. I'm going to try and keep this super quick, under 10 minutes if possible. I don't want to bore you guys to tears. So my next book, Claws of the Dragon, was released in May 2022. I did a Kickstarter campaign for that, which was successful. And the whole aim of that Kickstarter campaign was providing some sweet physical copies to people who wanted them, and also to provide some non-exclusive, non-Amazon ebooks for those of you who wanted to get the PDFs and the EPUBs and all of that, and just do it on whatever document, whatever PDF ebook reader you've got that's not on Amazon. Because I personally think that direct sales are an awesome thing. I like to be able to give you guys good value for money, and it's usually going to be cheaper doing it that way than going through Amazon and all of that kind of stuff. So, good stuff. So yeah, as part of the Kickstarter campaign, we also did paperback versions of Bleeding Edge and Claws of the Dragon, and we also did these super snazzy hardcover versions, which turned out really nice. Just try not to hit the glare there. And the backs of them, super cool. You got the little Kaiser down in the corner, really cool little dude. And then we've got number 2, Claws of the Dragon. Oh man, that's glary as hell. Which has got the nice green one for the green anima of Balawa, one of the entities who exist in book 2. And on the back here, you've got a little mountain scene at night, and you've got Kaiser with his fetching purple scarf down the bottom. The paperback has all of that stuff too, but the hardcovers, they just turned out really nice. And another little piece of nice to haves from the Kickstarter campaign is this little guy. It was part of the campaign that you could buy your very own Kaiser. A couple of people now have their very own little Kaiser boys to put on their shelf at home, and he's just cool. I love him. He's going to be coming to conventions and stuff with me when I start doing that again. Yeah, Kaiser is a very good boy. The reception of Claws of the Dragon has been super nice so far. It seems lots of people are digging it. Lots of people are enjoying it, and yeah, it's at like a ridiculous 4.7 average or something on Amazon, even after a couple of months. There's no 1 stars or anything yet, which I think, isn't that the sign that you've made it as an author, as you get 1 stars? I don't know. Anyway, people seem to be digging it. It's cool. I'm happy with it, and I am working hard on number 3 at the moment, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Second up, I just mentioned when I start doing conventions again. Last month I actually did my first convention since the beginning of COVID, which was super cool. So I spent 2.5 days up in Maryborough, which is my hometown. They do this awesome thing called the FraserPop Pop Culture Festival, which is run by the Maryborough State High School. And it's a much smaller event than, say, Comic Con or Supernova or anything like that, because it's purely run by the school, and I think it's the Certificate 3 in Business students who do that in Year 11 and 12. They do all of the organisation for it and all of that, and it was, for what it was a really great weekend. I met a couple of new author pals who were selling their books and stuff up there. There were only 3 authors up there, but I've already confirmed with FraserPop that I will be absolutely coming back in 2023 because it was a blast. There was one guest. It was, I think, Matt. I think his name was Matt Doran. He was from The Matrix and Star Wars. He was in, which was pretty cool. I mean, the fact that you've got an event like this that's run by a school, and to have an actor come along and do photographs and signings and all that kind of stuff, it's just super cool. But the thing that I loved the most about the festival was just the atmosphere. The quality of the cosplay that was there was incredible. There were professional cosplayers as well as people who were just doing it for fun. But the quality of some of those costumes that were, just the people in the crowd walking around, they were, on par with those who'd come to Supernova and Comic Con in Brisbane. It was super awesome. And one of my personal favorite things about the entire weekend was there are so many people up there who are just passionate about books and fantasy and sci-fi and all of that kind of stuff. And it broke my heart when I was talking to them about, what kind of bookstores do you have up here? Like, where's a good bookstore I should talk to about, possibly stocking my books and stuff. And Maryborough doesn't have a bookstore at all. They've got Big W, which, as far as Big W's go, has a pretty good book range, but I think it's probably because they don't have any other option up there. There are bookstores in Harvey Bay, which is, half an hour drive away, but Maryborough itself, there's no bookstores, which is just crazy. But I mean, when I grew up there was really only one bookstore, and that was, I think it was QBD or Dimmicks. I don't think it was Dimmicks, it was some other thing. Anyway, books are good, and I want to get them in the hands of people who want to read them. So I was super happy that I was able to go up there and, sell some lit RPGs and introduce people to a genre that they've, never really heard of. But a lot of people seemed super into it. Like, I sold a crap ton of books. That's a technical term. But I sold probably on par, maybe a little bit less, but only a couple of books less than what I sold when I was at Supernova a few years ago. And I also went up there and sold some candles and stuff for Arcanum Candle Co., our little candle side business, that went really well. So it was just a great weekend. And like, I would honestly, if you're in Queensland and you see FraserPop popping up, which will be in about July in 2023, I mean, go along. The thing that really, really makes me appreciate the work that they're putting in is that this is an event that they could charge for, but they don't even want, like, the school doesn't even want a gold coin donation. They want this to be a free event for all of the families on the Fraser Coast to be able to come to. And it's just super awesome. Anyway, FraserPop, good. Had a great time. Going back, absolutely. Next up, Soul of Steel. This is a series that I would absolutely love to start working on once I've finished the Edge Force trilogy. And it is essentially giant transforming robots who cultivate the energy that they get, level up their abilities and their chassis and all of that kind of stuff. And I love Transformers. Soul of Steel is not Transformers. There are some similarities, but it's a complete... the similarities really only go insofar as that they are robots that turn into other things. That's it. But I really want it to have that same kind of soul of steel, if you were, of the stuff that I love. So I've written about 20,000 words on the first one of that, and I've uploaded that to Patreon, and got some feedback to say that it's quite enjoyable, which is always good to hear. So I'd really love to work on that at some point. The title isn't final or anything like that. It may or may not be called Soul of Steel. I don't know when I finally go ahead with it, but I'm having fun. Now, Patreon. If you are one of my Patreon patrons, you will have already received a notification to say that I am pausing payments for this month, and I will also be pausing payments for next month and probably the month after as well. Purely because last couple of months have not been very good on the productivity side of things. There's been some kind of mental health stuff that I've been dealing with, as well as one of our kids had COVID and our other kid was sick. It was probably COVID, but the test didn't come back positive. And, it's just one of those things. It's pretty much been a month of sickness in this house. Only the last 2 weeks we've only kind of started to really feel better and get back to normal. All right. Bury the Hatchet, Edge Force 3. I'm about 28,000 words through the first draft of that one now. The release date that I've got set up for the pre-orders for that book is my birthday, February next year, 2023. It's not a very long time, but I'm going to be working my ass off to get that done and ready to launch in February. It is going to be a big ask, but soon I'm going to have the opportunity to be able to put some more time towards it, which is going to be very nice. Now, further on the Edge Force series, I am super excited to announce that the audiobook for Bleeding Edge is going to be coming out on, let me just confirm the date, September 27th, 2022. So legit, in a month, 1 week, and 1 day, you're going to be able to listen to Bleeding Edge, the very first entry in the Edge Force series. And what I'm super excited about is that Heath Miller, the narrator extraordinaire, who also does the super popular He Who Fights with Monsters series, is going to be narrating this series. And I cannot wait to hear what he does. I know I'm going to be spending a credit on it, and it's my book, but I'm going to be spending a credit on it as well. So yes, it's coming out end of September. So if you have an Audible credit coming up and you're looking for like a fast-paced action-adventure lit RPG with crazy monsters and an Aussie hero out of his depth, crazy cult hell-bent on bending the world in their image, then you should probably check out Bleeding Edge. And I think you're going to have a pretty good time. So that's awesome. I'm just so excited. Yeah, so well, look, that's pretty much it. We're at 12 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up super quick. I do intend to keep doing updates every month from here on in. I'm going to be a lot more diligent, with actually sticking to the schedule. There's a lot of other videos that I would like to do on this channel about the art and the business and the nitty-gritty function of writing. But there's also something that I would kind of like to do in the future as well. I don't know whether it's going to be on this channel or whether it's going to be a sub-channel. I don't even know how the structure of YouTube works from that perspective, but you all know I love Transformers. It's kind of my jam. And I'd love to start a YouTube channel doing some reviews and news and all of that kind of stuff. But it's not going to be like any kind of like official scheduled thing. It's just going to be as things happen and I'm interested and want to make videos about it, I want to do it. But I don't know if I want to do it here on this channel or whether I want to do a different channel. We'll see. It's on the list of things to consider. So that's it from me for now. So I'm going to leave you all to it. Thanks for sticking through. I hope you're all happy and healthy out there in the world, doing things that make your heart happy. Be good to each other, be good to yourself, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and I'll catch you later.